Hello, welcome to Melanin and Habinoid Life. I am Lady Abimbola. Welcome to my video blog. The last attack on me was concerning my properties, and I gave you some videos on my quest or my search for the return of my properties. Okay, and the latest is that my entire house property, yes, entire, I'm talking about my personal properties, my, my furnitures, my personal belongings, clothing, furnitures, kitchen utensils, school books, books generally, CDs, documents, everything, barbecue, garden equip, everything I have that actually was placed in a storage. And the reason it was placed in the storage is because, as I know, I've been updating you about the continuous persecution and harassment I've had concerning this gang stalking programming. Well, it's not a new thing now where the target comes from and who is usually easily used for the harassment. Now, I want to make it clear. You see, when we talk about things, because this is melanin and albinoid, sometimes we talk about, maybe the albinoid or whatever. I do not want to put everybody in the same basket because you see, whether melanin or we're albinoid, we're all targeted because we're all human. If you look at my channel, I always say I'm against the gang stalking program, the racist system, and the abuse on human race. So the gang stalking program is against targeted individuals that have been targeted for persecution, for oppression, and for destruction. Then you have the racist system is targeted against the melanin race, okay? But the abuse against the human race is targeted against the whole human race, whether you're albinoid or melanin, it doesn't really matter. So we're talking about craziness in the world right now. I opened a new channel, Lady Abimbola Online. This channel is actually meant to, while I keep melanin and albinoid, to continue to expose my own personal experiences and the experiences of other targeted individuals concerning this harassment against the human race. But Lady Abimbola Online will be focused on motivating, encouraging, and inspiring the targeted individuals. You will agree with me that some people have been killed concerning this program, this diabolical program. Some people have committed suicide because the torture, the harassment, the persecution is beyond human comprehension. If you don't know God, you cannot survive it. I will just tell you point and plain. If you don't know God, if you're not working with God, if you don't have the Holy Spirit, you cannot go against this system because it's a diabolical system. This harassment is not just humanistically orchestrated. It's a diabolical system that is carried out by satanists and people that have sold their soul to Satan. So therefore, as a child of the Most High God, I've been exposed to so many things, and the Lord even leads me and teach me the step to take concerning the program, because it's not just harassing us for harassing sake. It's harassing us because you see, we live in a world of social mind control, and the targeted individuals are people that are not under that social mind control. But the harassment and persecution is meant to indirectly reprogram us. And how? Because when they harass, I noticed in my own persecution that at times, they harass me when I stay in a particular place, and this place they feel safe. They can harass me easily. They can abuse my privacy. They can, place cameras around, the audios around, and place they feel, tranquil, and they have no opposition or no resistance. They don't bother me so much there because that's the place they want me to be. But the place they have restrictions on how to get close to me or abuse my private space or abuse my privacy in any level by placing cameras, audios, and antennas to invade my Wi-Fi, to invade my computer. They've blown up several computers. They've stolen several. My Mac computer was stolen, my iPad, and all those things. So where they have easy access, they don't resist, they don't oppress, they don't try to challenge it. But where they don't have easy access, that's where they want me gone. Because they want me to be in the. They want want us as targeted individuals to be in a vulnerable situation, and that's why you see the fight, they sabotage employment, economics, and all these things. I have had a major harassment concerning my own income. But now, why I'm doing this video today is to give you an update on the robbery, the Milan the Gangstalking robbery. Now, if you look at my blog, Melanin and Happy Albino Live, you'll see that I've already given different explanation and different videos when the theft took place, the day I found out that my properties was gone. I will just give a brief history of what actually happened. Okay, last year, 2017 or 2018, last year, before the summer, we're just kind of getting into the summer. I got a job offer in here in Alto Adige, where I stay. In Alto Adige, it's somewhere around Brunik. It's a province of Brunik. I got a job offer in a company which I prefer not to mention because I just also want to be prudent in what I do, so I don't get people involved that are not involved, you understand. But the Gangstalking program gets everybody involved, but I will still try to use wisdom in the way I attack and in the way I expose them. So this company in the province of Brunik, I had a job offer. I had 95% of getting the job. Is a very lucrative work. The payment was good, almost 2,000 euro. It was good, and I knew somebody that referred me also, and the person was really, rooting for me and telling the director that, they should give me the opportunity, that I'm a very good person and I'm very good with my work, and, he showed them some things I did for him. Well, so I had no doubt in my heart that I was going to get the work. So anyway, I got also a Forium Bonum in the area. And when I moved away from Bolzano, I went to the area there in Off Brunigo in Campo Turis, to be precise. When I got to Campo Turis, I got this house. It's a vacation house, and this vacation house, I've already, everything was okay, and I was just supposed to go and get my things. So the landlord was so relaxed with me. The landowner was so relaxed with me. He said, okay, just get yourself inside, and we'll make everything other. You can transfer your ID here. He told me you can transfer your ID, you can, register your document, you can do everything here. There's no problem. I will give you not as a tourist, but I will give you as you have a residence there, not as a tourist. So that was our agreement. We've not signed anything, but that was the agreement. That was, it seems to be with it, because he even suggested certain things. He will go to the commune, he will do this. So I don't have any doubt in my heart that he had any motive. But I went to get my things. During the week, he gave me the week, so I went to get my things. I had, somebody, a friend of the landlord actually, helped me go to get my things. I knew, the landlord also through this person. But anyway, I came to Bolzano, where I reside. I took my things and I took it to Brunik. And I resided in this vacation house. And I told the landlord to get, for the payment and things like that. Then I was supposed to renew my papers, and I came to Bolzano to renew my papers, and they wanted to know where I was staying, and I said, well, in Brunik, and they said, okay, they wanted to know my residence, but since I felt I was staying in Brunik, I left the the immigration office in Bolzano. I went to Bressanone, and Bressanone wanted to have the contract of the house and every kind of documentation. And I was supposed to come back. So later they called me back. They want to have the address of the house. I think that was where they got the address of the house. They contacted the landlord. Allegedly, I believe they contacted the landlord and, of course, brainwash him or mind control him to not rent me the apartment. So anyway, remember, this is somebody that we've already agreed on everything. Everything has been sealed, signed, and delivered. I have the key of the house. I've moved my things inside. It was just to sign the something. But since also I was supposed to renew my papers, I went on to do that also, and they wanted the contract. They wanted. I said, okay, no problem. I'll get you the contract of the house. I'll get you, every other thing you need and everything. So I went back there. I mean, then they told me since I was in Brunik, Campo Tourist, I should go to I think it's NK and whatever. Well, I'll put the name on the screen as I edit the video. So this station is close to the border, that is responsible for renewal in Campo Tourist. So I went to this station also. They asked me for the same thing. They wanted the contract of the house and everything. They gave me a form, and I took the form for privacy reasons. I would, because I've already put the name of the landlord and everything on the form, I will not put it here, So because the landlord, actually, I've taken him to court now, but I will tell you how that led to going to court and everything. So anyway, they gave me the form. The police gave me the form, and I went there. The immigration police gave me the form, and I went to him and I told him, okay, we have to do this contract fast because I have to present these things at the. So anyway, he told me, pump and plain, that the law enforcement agent told him not to receive any money from me. In other words, they instructed him not to receive any rent from me and to get rid of me in the house. Well, to know the house, at the end of this video, where I place my advertisement about the Gangstalking program, this is the balcony of the house that I was already staying, in the house. I have the keys and everything. That's the balcony. At the end of this video, the little publicity or advertisement you will see, it's in the balcony of this said house I'm talking about. And anyway, he refused to get to take the whatever. He told me I have to leave. And I was like, what happened? Did I do anything? Did I behave badly? What really happened? And he told me the law enforcement agent told him not to rent me the house and he should get rid of me. At this point, I was exhausted, I was tired, I was irritated, I felt insulted. I mean, this is the program that they orchestrate everything. So in other words, what they do to me is they get me thrown out of places I rent, like houses, homes, or even sometimes, friends can host me, for a short period. And what they do is that they try to infiltrate such a friend and maybe, to make them to be spy against me. I mean, so many blacks have sold their soul to Satan that they are willing to spy against their own sister. They've paid people money that I know to get rid of me, and some to spy, to tell them precisely when I'm going to leave the place, when they get rid of me, when I'm going to leave, if I'm going to go by train or by bus, for them to continue the harassment. So in this way, they present to people that, they see me with luggage, and each time they see me with luggage, as if I am homeless. I have never been homeless. I am not, but I move a lot, and so they want to give the impression, probably I have just one luggage I'm carrying about. So to mind control the people. Why I'm saying all these things, it will lead to the end of the video. What I'm the theft at Milan, because this theft is not a theft by a person. This is an orchestrated theft by the people in the authority. It is an orchestrated theft, and there's nothing that will convince me otherwise. Okay, I'm not calling any names, but I believe it's the people in authority that is involved in this theft of my property of about 80,000 euro. A rough estimate of 80,000 euro of all my sweat in 47 years in Italy. Anyway, all my properties are in this storage in Milan. While, since I move a lot, I can't have all my properties. It is logical. I can't have all my properties with me. I used to live in a villa of 150 meters square in Bayonne di Sopra. In Bayonne, San Siro di Bayonne di Sopra, province of Padova. It's near Chioggia. I used to stay in a villa of 150 meters square. So I have a property that fills a villa of 150 meters square. So obviously, if I now, share an apartment with somebody, or I'm moving from hotel to hotel or residence to residence, of course, I cannot take, each time I move, a lorry load of property moves with me. It's not possible. So the property are safe in Milan, while I have some luggages with me, for my daily things that I need. So that's how I have actually been living. But I have my properties. You understand? In a storage. I don't go 24 hours every movement with my properties. So I want to clear that for the lies the gang stalkers are talking, because of course it is an orchestrated theft. So while they are frustrating my effort and pushing me from place to place, oh, don't rent this apartment, don't rent this. Oh, so when people see me moving, they say, okay, that's all she has. That's not all I have. People that visited my home knows what I have, and I have a proof. So anyway, in Campo Tourist, this happened and I had to leave the home. But of course, I cannot take 12, 15 luggages with me at the same time. So what I did, I told the landlord, okay, can I, because it's an orchestra. They knew I was going to leave those properties. They knew I could not, they knew I was having challenges also economically, because, I've been moving a lot and I've been spending money, not foolishly. I'm a very wise woman. I'm very prudent about my spending money. I make money. I work hard and I make my money, and I'm prudent about spending my money. But they push me all around, and my movement costs a lot of money. Costs more than even staying fixed in a place. Because if I have to go and stay in an hotel for 45 euro, 50, 60 euro a day, it's crazy. So you can imagine what will be spent in a month. So this is the harassment, the continuous persecution that I've been going through by people in the position of power. Okay? The gang stalking, of course, they are controlling the people in the position of power. So anyway, and I left the luggages and I moved to Austria. The same weekend, I slept in an hotel that night, and the next day I moved to Austria, and I reported to the Austrian police, and I didn't have any intention of returning to Italy. I just want to get my things and leave the country and I don't even want to hear the name Italy again in my life. So when I left to Austria, they actually stalked me to Austria, because the gang stalking program, it's not a national thing, it's an international harassment. It's well infiltrated in America, it's well infiltrated in Asia, it's well also infiltrated in Africa, not as much as it is in America or in Europe. It's well infiltrated in Europe, and I will tell you why. Because the gang stalking program is controlled by the fascist system. The fascist system was the same system the Adolf Hitler used to capture the Hebrews, to torture them, to persecute them, to capture them, and eventually kill them. So it's a system that has been around for a very long time. They are now applying it into the gang stalking program, the racist system and the abuse of the human race. But it's all under the tree of fascism. So anyway, I left my things. I went to Austria. I just went with my handbag and a little hand luggage. That's all I left with to Austria, because I was really stressed out. I felt they wanted to, because I have all these sex predators. They were, of course, harassing me, because they are trying to force me into a position of vulnerability where I can be easily taken advantage of, where I can also be easily be subjected to maybe commit a crime out of frustration. But since that's not my portion, since I have a God that never fails, since I have a God that never leaves nor forsake his own children, somehow I've been able to keep a sound mind, a peaceful inner strength, and of course I have never lacked any good thing. I may not have abundance, but I have never lacked. So therefore, all their plans to place me in a vulnerable position, like every other targeted individual, the plan is to place every targeted individual in a vulnerable position whereby they can easily push you into crime or making nasty decision, to push us into crime or making dumb decision. Be careful. The reason I'm saying this is not because I want to tell about my life. I'm here to help. I have a passion here to expose the fact that, to establish the fact that the gang stalking program exists. A racist system exists against the melanin race. You see, racism is not hatred of an albino towards the melanin or the melanin towards the albino. Racism is a system inculcated in the mind. Racism has been taught even in school. So an albino is not a person that hates you because they want to hate you. An albino is controlled by a racist system. It is a system. So it's beyond the albinoid. I know there's some albinoid, not that there's some, most albinoid, so many albinoid are born into the system. So they grew up in the system from birth, from toddler, from adolescence, from teenager to adulthood. This is a system that has controlled their mind, because you see, there are albinoids that are not guilty of any, that even that they are really exhausted with this system, the fascist system that controls, the world right now. It's an evil system. The fascist system, there's nothing godly about the fascist system. It's an evil system of destruction, of control, of dictatorship. They're accusing Africans of dictatorship. The fascist system is a system of dictatorship. Mussolini, that was actually the originator of the fascist system. Actually, he's the first dictator here. He kind of seduced the whole Italian citizen, with all his conquest. He conquered so many wars, and even the British army, the French armies, they were really scared of, the military here in Italy, until he started getting them into trouble when his true intent came out. And that was why Mussolini and Adolf Hitler became so much friends, because Adolf Hitler saw the same evil in him, in this same person, and he saw he had this idea that can be useful to him. That's why they became so much friends. But I will still talk about the fascist system today. I'm not talking about that. So anyway, going back to the fact that then I left Austria and all this, I was actually trailed, gangstalked to Austria, where I heard while I was there, the police was speaking with me. I was in an office, they were speaking with me. I heard an Italian voice speaking, on the phone, and it was like she asked to, it is not safe, as long as she's still in Europe, it's not safe, she's very dangerous. I don't have a criminal. That's the word they use. They use the word I'm dangerous. One, I don't have any criminal record. The only record is the record police record they're trying to create. Like when I'm controlled, they lie against the control. Maybe I'm being controlled, ordinary control. They put something else to incriminate me. And this thing, I've gone to the court to request for my police record. They don't want to give it to me. I have the right to know, but they've not. So I don't need my police record. Anything written there is a lie. It is something they manipulated. It is something they orchestrated to incriminate me. I'm saying that boldly in a public forum right now. That's what the gangstalking is all about. It's all about manipulating data, using the military. I'm not saying all the military or all the law enforcement agents are involved in it. Some of them by default, just like the albinoid, by default they were born into the racist system. So they don't know any other thing than to harass a melanin person. They don't know any other thing than to insult a melanin person. They don't know any other thing than to stigmatize a melanin person. They don't know any other thing than to say all melanin women were every melanin man, they're criminal. They don't know any other thing. They have been mind controlled right from adolescence. So if their mind cannot escape what has been inculcated in them for a very long time. That's why we have to be very prudent. No, I'm not, when I talk about the albinoid, I don't refer to every albinoid, but some of them with years, they begin to learn things, read things, and they're now, this is just wickedness against this race, and they're fighting. Some of them are fighting Black Lives Matters. Well, if it truly matters, whatever, because we don't need an organization to say our lives matters. I don't see why saying that white life matters. Why? Because when you're harassing somebody, their life matters. Okay, fine. If it's just a concept, an attempt to actually say, look, listen, you can't continue to just kill these people, stigmatize their reputation, slander their reputation, and make them look, cut away credibility in their dignity and in their value. Okay, if that's the reason Black Lives Matters, I agree with it. But if there's other motive just for the sake of doing it, well, So anyway, while I was in Austria, I was also gangstalked there. It changed from the environment. I changed the environment, but they were still harassing me on the... So I want to prove that the gangstalking program is an international, a global harassment on the human race. Okay? While they are creating clones, they are now harvesting organs from real humans. They are killing real humans. They are demoralizing real humans. They are terrorizing real humans. They are assassinating real humans. They are poisoning real real humans, and they're creating clone to actually take the place of real human. That's why you have to know Satan himself is behind the gang stalking program, the racist Satan, and the abuse of the human race. Why? Because Satan is the only person that has always challenged God. He tried to dethrone God on his throne, and he failed the coup d'etat in heaven. He failed woefully. He was thrown out of heaven, but he still hates God. He hates all God's creation, and that's why this fascist system came into being. That's why the gang stalking program was established. That's why the racist system was established, and that's why war has been declared on the human race. It's not just me, okay? Because some people say, oh, maybe she has done, for little-minded people, or maybe she has done something. That's what they want you to believe. I've not done anything. I don't have any criminal record. I don't have any criminal inclination on anything whatsoever. I am a decent woman. I'm a woman of dignity, of integrity. Dignity and integrity, and no one can take that from me, not even the lies of the gang stalking program. But of course they want you to believe otherwise, because it's a program of so much lies and deception, so much lies and deception, so much lies and deception. Be careful what you believe, because the gang stalking program is all about lies, twisting of the fact, twisting of the truth, and making the good look bad, and making the bad, which is one of them, to look good. They are actually destroying the human race and creating clones that can obey them at will. Apart from the humans that have sold their soul, those ones, of course, they're not really free. Satan don't give a damn about any of them. But as long, the more they're into the destruction plan of the human race, the more Satan leaves them to be part of his armies, okay? But the more they're like, you're in, one leg out, he pushes them out, and those are the ones they sacrifice easily. So anyway, I don't want the video to be exaggeratedly long. So anyway, when I went to Austria, the gang stalked me there. They were still harassing me on the same thing. They tried to stop me from working in Austria also, and they started accusing me of not wanting to work. The same thing they're doing here. You understand? It is a system. So on my record, what they want to put is that they will hinder me. They will sabotage all my work. If you see on the internet, all my things I've done on the internet, now I'm not even getting any work, any money from what I am doing, because of the fact that, there are certain registration that I need to do for tax purposes that I cannot do it, because they are sabotaging that area. On my, so many things that I don't want to give too much information online right now. When the right time comes, I will talk about this, because I'm compiling all those things, and I'm making sure those things are not with me here. Because as gang stalking program, they have plans. Every day they are planning for every targeted individual. If you don't do it their way, it's either their way or the highway. So I will not allow them to outsmart me on that by making things. They've already made so many things disappear, and I will not give them opportunity to do more. I called Italy that the guy, I'm sending somebody with a lorry to bring my things to Austria, and this guy stopped responding to me, and the person responsible in the story. So anyway, I came back to Italy, and when I came back to Italy, in Loreteggio, via Brasilia, number 11, via Brasilia number 11 and Loreteggio. The storage is there, and the custodian is actually the custodian of the house there. And when I got there to the house at Loreteggio, what they did was that, they actually stole 85% of my properties. I find about 15% more. The first day, on the 29th of October 2018, I took some pictures. I was basically shaking like this, because that's all I have left here in Italy, and I was shaking. I was angry, but I kept my calm. I videoed the whole thing. If you go Milan theft, October 29. So anyway, in the hotel I stayed, they sent infiltrators into the hotel. So I was so scared, because I had some challenges, economically. So I got an hostel. An hostel means I share the room with someone else. So, and in this case, I share with other people, not just one person. So the hostel, they actually had infiltrators in the hostel. So I decided not to sleep in the room. I slept in the corridor. There's a couch in the corridor. I paid for the room, but I slept in the corridor because I was scared. Maybe they had plans for me. In the corridor, there's a camera. So I slept where there's a camera. So if anything happens, there will be a camera that can actually take, because in the room, you don't have camera. So they have surveillance camera in the corridor. So I slept there. So if anything happens, the surveillance camera see me where I'm sleeping, and if anybody comes on me while I'm sleeping, maybe they try to drug me, or maybe they try to poison me or anything. So anyway, the few days I was there, I spent it like that. And I had to quickly, on the 31st, I went back there. And anyway, if you go to the video, you'll find the video, on the 29th of October 2018, and on the 31st, what happened. Then on the 31st, the police tried to hinder me from taking picture as a proof, because I already take legal action against this theft. The police actually stopped me from taking picture. When I got there on the 29th, the custodian told me vividly that my properties were in the hands of the Italian military police. The custodian told me that, allegedly, the custodian told me that my properties are in the hands of the Italian military police. And on the 31st, when I went there, the military police, the police, not the military police, but the state police, was the one that came to the scene, and they stopped me from taking pictures. They hindered me from taking pictures to serve as proof, and they even ridiculed me that, she wants to take pictures, that she wants to take pictures. They stopped me and they arrested me. And I got there, they even attempted to beat me up, stealing my properties. They attempted to beat me. These are people from the south of Italy. They attempted to beat me up, and they would slice my throat, and they made comment like that. So anyway, they even were the one that called, but I didn't bother to call the police. I wanted the police to come, and I started like, if you watch the video, you see what happened. And I was saying that I want the police to come, because this is actually 4 person against 1 person. That I was screaming out and I was saying this. Anyway, that was what happened, and I took the case to court. And from January till today, May, when the 29th of May 2019, from January that I went to Milan, I took lawyer, I've already placed it, but I didn't finish the report. Why I didn't finish the report? When I was making report with the state police, they refused to put what I told them. I told them the custodian said my properties were in the hands of the military police. They refused to write that. Okay, I told them that the military police has been on it's a matter of the law enforcement agent have been harassing me for years, and they've been persecuting me for years. But they refused also to write that. At the end of the day, I felt this report will be a prejudice report. It is better I stop the report and I put in. I had there's possibility to add more information. So I told the police, the state police, that listen, I'm not in a very good emotional state right now. I want to stop this report right now. I will put him on, because since he's not writing what I'm telling him, so it's better I go to write the truth myself with the lawyer. I got the first lawyer. The first lawyer was in Saronno, and there was a visit, allegedly, people that look like the law enforcement agent without uniforms. They came, they look like investigators, they look like, the people, they have a different way, like Men in Black, they have a different way of acting like normal people. These people came and they told my lawyer in Saronno, they told the lawyer that I have to go. I have to leave. That's what the lies they tell around. They've been harassing me and threatening me of deportation for the past 15 years. But the only thing they've been doing to me is harassing me, stealing my wealth, hindering me from working, and stealing my property. It doesn't look like people that want to deport somebody. This looks like criminals that want to steal my wealth. This is not a matter of, because I have not committed any crime, but they have tried to incriminate me with lies. There have been times that, I told you once, the Carabinieri in Bergamo, they lied against me on my record that I committed robbery. And this thing has been on my record for probably years. I don't know. So that has been something that has been motivating or influencing any control I have. Because even if I speak like a nice, decent woman and everything like that, I speak the language very well, and when they see my record, they say I'm robbery that I don't even know exists on my record. The Gangstalking program, it's a criminal thing. And you see, we can't continue to look and watch while they destroy you. I mean, people have committed suicide for this thing. People have been assassinated for this situation. People have been ruined. People have been forced into destitution for the Gangstalking program.
Time with the wrong people. Life
Just Angela, I have to pick up this call.
Time with people who suck the happiness out of.
So anyway, it's not something important. Anyway, so the situation is that after the whole thing, the demonstration of whatever, my first lawyer, Sarano, was visited. The second lawyer, Milano, was visited. The third lawyer was visited. The fourth lawyer was visited. In fact, the third lawyer that was visited, I withdrew from her immediately. When I withdraw from her, because I was supposed to have more element, and time was moved. The first lawyer refused to write to challenge the authorities. To write that the law enforcement agent has been persecuting me. They have done this. They refused to write. The second one refused to write. The third one, this time around, probably they said it's an item. You know what you do? You just write something. So what they just wrote, basically just wrote rubbish that was written in the first report by the police. That was nothing. It was just like somebody took my word. They didn't write nothing about the aggression, nothing about the defamation of slander of my character, defamation of my character, nothing about all the aggression, nothing. I have video of the aggression, nothing about it. So he just sent that filter to me. So I told her I don't want her again as my lawyer, but she still went ahead and deposited this in the court. So the court took this as another evidence. So something added to the report. So I took another lawyer. When I took another lawyer, and she just called me. I think she realized that her name has been booted out as being my lawyer, and she wanted to contact the other lawyer I took. And she called the other lawyer. The lawyer was preparing the way to address the whole thing for me, and I think he wanted to do his work until this other female lawyer called him, and actually, whatever was discussed, I was not there, but whatever was discussed, mind control or condition this lawyer from actually behaving the way he's supposed to behave and handle the case in a truthful manner. Of course, I'm not dumb. I've had 3 other experiences before him. So when I realized that he was now buying time, I wasted almost 2 months with this, lawyer. I said almost 1 month in Milano. He was telling me, come tomorrow, he's going to. So I realized that this man is full of bullshit. This other woman must have really been mind controlling him. So I shouldn't waste my time on this. And I got this final lawyer that I'm going to change again. And so when I got this final lawyer, and I told this lawyer immediately that, listen, I left this lawyer for so reasons, and this. Anyway, I explained everything to the lawyer, and also in her own case, she tried to still talk about more that when they were doing investigation, the guy never told the truth about what happened. She said something more, but she still refused to talk about the law enforcement agent that is the main reason why my things does not exist again, because this guy said my things were in the hands of the law enforcement agent. So in this case, they should be mentioned also. But because it's a gang-stalking program, they are manipulating this, they're orchestrating everything, and they want to make sure their name is not on the report so that they will be able to help easily manipulate justice against me to get the storekeeper out of the legal battle that I've forced him. I put him in this situation. So anyway, then they call it public ministerial over here. The public ministerial now requested to file the case to archive the case. So filing the case, are we killing here? I have video of aggression, I have video of what happened, I have testimony, what is happening here? So anyway, I went back to Milan again. Remember, I don't have an income, a static income right now. My work is being sabotaged. I am being hindered from working. My work is sabotaged. My bank account is under control. My illegal control. Because I've not done anything that my account should be under any kind of control. But it's an illegal control. But anyway, what I'm doing concerning that, I don't need to put that here because I still have to say something to save myself. I'm informing you only that the gang stalking program, it exists and how you should go about it and to understand. But there's still certain things to protect myself, that I cannot tell you, not for any privacy or legal reasons, but for my own safety also, so that they don't know the move I'm making, so they can, because the program is to counter-attack and sabotage our lives. Okay, so anyway, this last lawyer wrote that, and of course, I'm checking for another lawyer now. I'm getting rid of this one also because basically, when I went to Milan, I fought hard. I prepared the video. I wrote something very fast and explaining the fact that the law enforcement agent has been harassing me. They have been sabotaging my work move and my work and my life and everything. I wrote the truth the way it is to the judge. Now, the judge gave us an appointment for the, after the summer, I have an appointment to present myself in court. But the appointment to present myself in court this time around, because till my lawyers did a terrible job, and these are lawyers that they know their work, but they have just been mind controlled and conditioned and orchestrated by the gang stalkers not to do the right thing, and because they have been engineered not to do the right thing, they wanted to make the courts actually archive the case, file the case. So we call it archive over here, but it's filing in English, to file the case. So what happens right now is that, since I've been given a date, the date is for the judge to decide if there will be a trial or not. Because if I've given all the evidence before I attempt to archive, I will just have a date for trial. But in this case now, because there has been an attempt to archive, to file the case, now the defense, the public ministerial, actually sees that there is something worth going ahead, but the magistrate will decide if, okay, fine, you claim that this and this and this, you've proved this and this and this and this, they try to archive, okay, you claim this and this and this, okay, with the case will go on, there will be a trial, or it cannot go on, there will not be any trial. So that's what the court case is all about right now. So for the fact that there's that opportunity, you see, one thing you have to know about the gang stalking program is demonically, satanically, diabolically backed up. So what Satan is doing is that the targeted individuals, I forget about whistleblowers and everything. We are not whistleblowing. We're not whistleblowing for anything. If there is any whistleblowing we're doing, it's for Christ Jesus. Okay? The thing is that this harassment is satanic intrusion of the gangster. They want the targeted individual to be vulnerable for destruction or vulnerable to use their own free will to commit sin against God Almighty. Okay, that's why I opened Lady Abimbola Online. Lady Abimbola Online will teach you my survival skills. One thing in this Lady Abimbola Online, check it out. Lady Abimbola Online, one, I'll be teaching you also how to take care of your mind, your mental state. We need a healthy mind, your physical state and your emotional state, and also your spiritual state of mind, because this is an avenue where they attack a lot. They attack the mindset. You remember I usually say, face your fears, elevate your mind, because they're against the mind. They want to destroy the mind of the human race. They are destroying the human. This is not an human fighting us. This is not the authorities fighting us. This is not the military, even the military police and all the other law enforcement fighting us. No, there's more, something more deeper than this. Gang stalking program, the fascist system is a diabolical system. It's against the human will. Because you see, when God created us, He created us as free moral agents. We have a free will. That's why you see we have a free will to serve God or to serve Satan. Even though to serve Satan is a wrong thing, but we have the free will to do that. So if God Himself will not touch our free will. So when man is fighting to control us in order to have our free will under his own control, you know it is something serious. So I have a court date. Thank God, thank Jesus for that. The God that has saw me this far is not by my own might nor my own power, but the Spirit of the Lord that has lifted up a standard against the gangstalking program, the racist system, and the abuse of the human race against my life and my soul and my spirit. The ones that contend and contest in order to have my soul. But my soul is not for sale. The souls of the targeted individual is not for sale. But one thing for sure is that they're trying to put us in confusion. So you are busy doing what is actually far from your calling and from my calling. God has chosen us. Remember, many have been called, but very few are chosen. The few that are chosen are the ones that have been targeted today. The chosen individuals, the Bible refers to that the chosen individuals are the ones that have been targeted for destruction, for harassment, for persecution, and the program is not merciful at all, because those targets, if they are not taken down, there will be a destructive weapon in the hands of our God. And that's why Satan is fighting tooth and nail. I've been threatened for the past 15 years that my papers will be withdrawn, that I will be deported, they will withdraw my papers, they will do this, they've done everything humanly possible. But all they've done this far, I have not been deported, but the only thing they've done this far is to steal my wealth, steal my property, label me a liar, label me an armed robber that I've never committed any crime before in my life, and my slate are clean. My legal slate are clean. We are not dealing with humans here. These are spirit beings harassing us. So I want the targeted individuals all over the world to understand one fact, that it is consuming. Even for me talking about it, there are so many details I left out, some for legal reasons and some for my own protection, okay? I want to feed you with as much as possible, but go and study yourself. The Bible says, study to show yourself approved, a workman rightly dividing the work of truth. And in this case, go and study yourself. Go and begin to be inquisitive about your surroundings. Go and be inquisitive about history. If our history is right or wrong. If the history book is right or wrong. If there is a system. You see, racism is not an hatred. It's a system. That's why you see, when a black child is schooled here, in Europe, in America, whatever, not in the African continent, when they are schooled here, they begin to think like a white person. I know an engineer that actually I was about going into a relationship with him, but he thinks like a white person. Now he has been divorced by his white wife and everything, and he wanted to have a relationship with me, but he talks about the black like the white will talk about the black. He's with a black skin, but his mind, he has been brainwashed. He has been, let me put it, whitewashed. He talks like an albinoid person. He will see the blacks, he will laugh at them. They're crazy people, albino, the melanin, they're crazy people everywhere. But the way he talks, it's like when you close your eyes, don't look at the skin. It's like you are hearing the voice. It irritates me. And that's one of the reasons I don't want to have anything to do with him. If I want to date a black person, I want to date a black man. With black mentality, with everything. So that's just the system. It is a system of dictatorship backed up by Satan himself. Most of the gangstalkers, they're satanists, they're into secret society, and you have so many secret society. I don't need to give you a list of secret society, but that's not what I'm trying to do. It's consuming the toxicity in the evil is too much for me to focus on. I deal with so much every day. I don't still want to deal with it on my videos. It's too much. I'll give you information just for you to know that this gangstalking program, the racist system, it exists, and the abuse of the human race, destruction of the human race is going on right now as I talk. Details of everything. But in Abimbola, the lady Abimbola online, I'll be teaching you the food to eat and the food not to eat. I'll be teaching you about how to embrace herbs and how to embrace nature that God has given to us freely. Also, I'll be teaching you. Hopefully, I'll be able to influence you how, I've actually survive this far, not by my might nor power, but by the Spirit of the Most High God. To be able to keep a sound mind and healthy mindset, to be able to have a spirit. Healthy mindset does not mean sometimes you don't freak out, sometimes you don't lose it. You can lose it, you can freak out, but as long as you still have that anchor that anchors you back to sanity, that anchors you back to righteousness. Because you see, we cannot win this battle without God Almighty. It is something far beyond our own human limitation. But when we have human limitation, we have to cry, Abba Father, to Almighty God that can destroy Satan without thinking twice. God was the first targeted individual when Satan tried a coup d'etat in heaven, and Satan has not given up. What is happening here on earth is a humanistic coup d'etat. They are getting rid of human beings. They are making, organ harvesting. I don't understand the organ harvesting part. How can you feel you steal an organ from somebody else and give it to somebody else? So you are trying to play God that this should live and this should not live. Because you see, organs actually is not useful when you are still alive. When you are dead. When you die, your organ dies. So for your organ to be useful, you still need to be alive. So the organ harvesting, they're just telling you bullshit lies. The organ harvesting is actually assassinating people. I will not say more than that. Go and do your own homework yourself and know what I'm talking about. I remain your Lady Abimbola of Melanin and Albinoid Live. Thank you very much for listening to me. Remember, the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. So, as I always say, face your fears, elevate your mind, and resist the temptation to panic. Thank you very much, and I see you in my next video. And please visit Lady Abimbola online. It's a new channel. I'm still making video for it. I'm editing other videos, but visit me on that channel also on my Twitter for Lady Abimbola online, and also my Patreon. Be a patron and encourage me, support me. Especially this time it's tough, but I'm still standing tough. I'm still standing high because I have a God on my side that never. You remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? They were in the burning furnace, but the enemy could see 4 people while he threw in 3 people. It's the same thing. They are harassing one person, but the battle is not mine. The battle is the Lord's. Take care of yourself, and God bless you. And remember to make God's word the standard for your living. And thank you everybody for watching me, and I'll see you in my next video on melanin and albinoid. The song goes still. That's the title of the song. Hide me now under your wings. Cover me within your mighty hand. When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm. Father, you are king over the flood. I will be still, know you are God. Find rest, my soul, in Christ alone. Know his power in quietness and trust. When the oceans rise and thunder roars, I will soar with you above Father, you are king over the floor. I will be still, know you are God. That's it, guys. Be still and know God is in control. Don't ever give up. You have what it takes to make it till Jesus comes. Okay? I love you all, and God loves you more. Jesus is advocating for us, and the Holy Spirit is always there to intercede against the forces of darkness that is coming like a flood against us. Thank you very much for listening to my video. Please, as I said, thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and make sure click also the bell so that you can be informed each time I upload new videos. Thank you very much. I really appreciate everything. Thank you. And also make sure you donate. Okay. Bye. Hello, my name is Lady Abimbola. Welcome to Melanin and Albino Life. This is a campaign against gangstalking. Gangstalking is a criminal act, is a program of persecution, of harassment, of theft, and for destruction of the human free will. It is to destroy your free will. Man, actually, we are spirit. We live in this earthly body and we have a soul. The soul is what makes us human and what makes us different from animals. Gangstalking is a program that is meant to steal away that which makes us human and reduce us to a zombified population. Targeted individuals are people that have been zeroed in upon to punish, to show others how to be submissive to the gangstalkers. And how are they doing this? They are destroying they are destroying the will of so many people. People are walking around as zombified individuals now. They are not even able to use their brain. But targeted individuals are people who can sustain themselves and can think outside of the box. These are people of faith and high principles. They zero in on them to destroy that which is still making human beings human, so that people can generally think that sex is a normal thing, that immorality is a normal thing, and all kind of the destruction of the human race. Divorce is a normal thing, and child abuse is a normal thing. Pornography is and all kinds of things that is a normal thing. They're trying to destroy that which is normal and make the abnormal normal. That is what gangstalking is all about. They're destroying the human will in order for you to subject and submit yourself to the abuse, to be under the control and the will of the Antichrist spirit, which is actually the spirit behind the gangstalkers. Please join me in my campaign against gangstalkers by donating if you wish. You have information below this video, information on how to donate. You can go to PayPal, you can go to my account, you can even send any kind of money transfer or whatever in my name. I am Abimbola. I will see you in my next video. Please remember, the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressors, who are the gangstalkers, is the mind of the oppressed, the targeted individual. So therefore, I always say, face your fears and elevate your mind and resist the temptation to panic. Please help stop gangstalking. It is a criminal act against the human race. I've been a targeted individual for the past 15 years. I've lost properties, I've changed houses, they've almost made me destitute out of this persecution. Please join this campaign about gangstalking. Thank you very much, and I see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.